Okay, so I'm trying to do this all by myself. Hello, I am one of the 200 hippies. I'm the Slim Stoner. Many people know me as TheGoddessM on one of the gaming networks. There's only really two, so I'm sure you'll find me on one. You can call me Slim Stoner or Goddess, either way. Most people, like I said, already know me as Goddess. Anyway, I'm here because I've decided to start a healthy cooking show on YouTube because I've had some very successful experience over the past 8 months eating right and actually consuming quite a bit of food and losing some weight. So that's what's going on. I hope you enjoy my video. I do want to start with a couple quick things because I gotta get to that, but just so you know what we're going to be approaching today or on this video, because whatever day you're watching it. I'm going to be making like a zesty cilantro lime shrimp salad. I say zesty because I'm going to be using like some cumin, which kind of gives some bite to it. It's not hot like like poblano peppers or jalapenos are hot. It's hot kind of like pepper is. It stings for a second and then it comes right off your tongue. So it's a really nice spice to use when you like spicy but you don't like it to linger. So anyway, I do have a couple things I feel like I need to approach right off the bat. So I do want to welcome you guys to my video. I don't know if I did that already. And I do want to thank you for visiting because that is always important. Hits are everything on YouTube, right? So thanks for being here. I do need to start with a disclaimer. All stories and idle commentary contained within this video, as in me talking about stuff that is not related directly to me cooking or me losing weight or nutrition directly. Anything outside of that discussed within this video or within any other video that I do, those things are for entertainment purposes only. They are fictional and are not an admission of guilt nor an admission of participation or lack of participation of any activity that I might mention participation thereof. So what I'm saying is, if I say it, I'm not admitting to doing it. I just said it, dude. Like, for all you know, this is comedy. For all I know, this is comedy. So let's just leave it at that. We'll all have a good time here. So thanks, I appreciate that. I don't want to have to worry about what I'm telling you when we're trying to make this happen for everybody. So awesome. Now that I'm done with that, these are my notes to make sure I do everything. Alright, so that note's done. We're finished with that one. I'm going to put that in my trash can. I made one down here, so it'd be cool. Alright, now, like I said, what we're going to make some scallop and shrimp over a bed of romaine lettuce with some spices, some vegetables, and just some stuff we're really going to hope to... I made it the other day, so it's pretty awesome, but, you know, well, hopefully you like it. Now, I went ahead, I logged all this stuff. I have an app on my phone, and I'm going to talk to you about this too. I have an app on my phone that I log in everything that I eat. It tells me the calories and all the different stuff that's in it, right? And it gives me a really cool graph and all the stuff whenever I want to look at it. Now, since YouTube does not allow me to give y'all brand names or anything like that, or places where I'm buying things, this app allows me to scan everything that I'm putting into my food, and I do. I also put in how much of everything that I'm putting in for one serving. So, if you would like to friend me on this app, you can find me by my email address, and I will put that in the comments along with the app's name. You can friend me and you can view my diary on this and see everything that's going into each food. All you have to do is match the date. So today's meal that I'm cooking right now is the meal listed for lunch on Thursday, January 24th, 2013. The calories on this meal is 515 calories, but because for diet food, 515 calories is a lot. It's a salad that's the size of this bowl. So if you eat this whole salad, you're the kind of person that a 515 calorie meal is something you're not really used to, and you're doing great. So don't worry about it. It will fill you up, and if you're not the kind of person that eats 1,500 calorie meals, you're only going to be able to eat half of the salad. So you can put half of it away and eat it tomorrow or eat it later on. I tend to graze, you know, and chief a lot and play a little Xbox, so hopefully I can say that. Hopefully. So I'll tend to eat a salad like this over the period of like 4 or 5 hours, you know, because nothing here will spoil if it sits for a couple hours. There's nothing in here that, like mayonnaise or anything that's going to turn. So that's helpful. Anyway, and I do want to apologize ahead of time. I want to try to make this video fast, but I tend to try to over-explain, and I'm sorry. Absolutely use the fast forward button, but if you feel like you want to watch it all the way through and try to catch the key points, that's great. I do talk a lot about nutrition, and I'm trying to do this real time, one take only. My son is in the other room playing Xbox, running his mouth, so hopefully we don't hear so much disruption from that. Back to the recipe. 515 calories. I also made a drink for myself, which is also on here for the same date. The drink is a 10-calorie drink. It's delicious. I made cherry limeade for 10 calories. So the entire meal with this giant drink and the giant salad is 525 calories. So it's I think reasonable if you're going to be doing 3 meals a day. That would put you to about 1,600 calories a day, which will allow you to lose some weight and lose it in a healthy way. So let's go for that. As far as the breakdown on the calories, I can go into this when we start this. I want to get this started cooking, but I have everything written down, so we're going to get to it. So I want to go ahead and give you a rundown. And like I said, if you friend me on my little app, it'll give you every single item that I'm listing, because I know it's kind of fast. But feel free to hit pause and write it down if you're actually interested in catching the recipe. So the recipe. Bear with me because some of this stuff sounds crazy. Apple slices, they're dried apple slices, and then you will slice them into little like dices. They look like this when you're done. So they'll just look like little pizza wedges kind of. Okay. So apple slices, you end up with a quarter to half cup. I did 4 slices.
You see my challenge with that?
When I cut them up, they ended up being about that much, so that's about what you need. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. Remember that cooking is all about your taste, so you don't have to make it exactly to the T the way I make it, because you want to add a little more or add a little less depending on what you like. Awesome. Lime juice, I use key lime juice. It's a little sweeter, it's a little bit more shallow on the citrus, so it's not quite so bitter. I like that better. I use fresh cilantro. As you can see, I chopped it up right here. I have about a half a cup of fresh chopped cilantro. When you use cilantro that's processed or dried, you're going to come up with a different amount, so try to be aware of that. But I find that fresh chopped cilantro gives you gives you better results as far as flavor, and it also gives you some roughage, so it's almost like replacing lettuce that has flavor in it, so that's nice. Cumin, I did the spices in a little bowl, but the cumin was like a quarter teaspoon, and you can add that to taste as well. I did fresh ground pepper, and I used red, white, and black pepper, because having all 3 gives you a nice round flavor to your peppers. They each have a different taste, so you might want to try getting a pepper mill and seeing how you like fresh ground pepper. It tastes a little bit more, like, I don't know, it's nicer than canned ground pepper for some reason. I don't know why. And it doesn't really cost any more. So if it tastes better and it costs the same, I think it's worth it. Anyway, I know I'm always on the big explanation. Sorry. You do have the option of using fresh diced tomatoes. You can get those in the produce section in a little tub. I don't use them because I can't have tomato. You would introduce those at the same time that you're introducing your mushrooms. So I'll try to mention that again. Garlic goes in at the beginning as well. You want to use also a half teaspoon or so. I use a teaspoon because I like garlic. You want to use sliced mushrooms, about a quarter to a half a cup, depending on how much you like mushrooms. And any of these things that you don't like, you're more than welcome to substitute in a different type of vegetable that you do. I recommend that you try using vegetables that you don't necessarily eat all the time. Like, stay away from like green beans and stuff that's boring. Go for cauliflower, squash, carrots that are sliced, spinach, things like that, mushrooms, black olives, turnips. Now turnips, keep in mind that you do have to simmer them really long or else they'll stay bitter. Anyway,
it's young.
Black olives, we're doing 4 black olives, just because I am only doing one salad. And of course, if you like a lot of black olives, add those, or if you don't like mushrooms, make up for one with the other, and vice versa. Okay, olive oil, I'm actually using a Mediterranean blend oil, which is olive oil, canola oil, and grapeseed oil. But olive oil is a pretty good go-to unless you can find something else like that. Grapeseed oil is really good. The key with oil is that you want to look for something that's high in mono and polyunsaturated fats. Those fats help reduce cholesterol in your system and help purge out bad fat. So what that allows you to do is purge out any layered fat that's on your body. It helps your bloodstream kind of help flush your body, and that's really what you want if you're trying to lose weight. Saturated fats are really the enemy because that's the one that clogs your arteries, it's the one that pads your body. Those are the fats you want to stay away from. But mono and polyunsaturated fats are an acceptable form of fat, but you have to remember that fats contribute 9 calories per gram, whereas protein and carbohydrate only contribute 4 calories per gram. So you're only going to have half as many calories staying away from fatty food, and therefore less stuff to burn off. So it might be in your best benefit, only taking in what you need, mono and poly, and staying away from saturated fat altogether, if possible. And you can do it if you really try to look around, but it really depends on the type of food you're able to eat, because people have allergies. So, just try to explore what's available in your stores and stuff. Shellfish, seafoods in particular, have very low saturated fat and very high proteins. And then you can get your mono and polyunsaturated fats somewhere else. Nuts are an excellent source of that. So, anyway, I know, always on a tangent, I'm sorry. But you'll learn a lot, I guess. I'm using quinoa. Quinoa is a great source of protein. And you'll find that in this salad it's a ton of protein. I believe it's 46 grams of protein in the salad. This salad's really designed to either be for lunch or an early dinner if you have plans. Like, this is not something you want to eat and then sit on. This is great for like lunchtime right before you go tailgating. This gives you a really good solid healthy something to put on your gut so that you can drink a little beer and not be trying to eat a bunch of hot wings and crap that are going to screw you over later. You know what I mean? Like, this will burn you really slow, and you can have a little bit of the other stuff, but you'll be full enough that you can keep it down to like 2 hot wings and a little bit of quesadilla instead of going crazy because you're starving. Anyway, so quinoa I added for the protein. It's really good for that. It does have some carb in it, but from what I can tell, it's complex carbohydrate. Artichoke hearts I want to add, but I don't have any. So unfortunately, we're doing this in my kitchen on my fridge today. So I kind of decided last minute. Also, if you have high cholesterol or if you're trying to maintain weight like I am, you can add a whole or a half avocado, either chopped, or if you'd like to add guacamole. I found 100-calorie guacamole packets that are phenomenal. They come in spicy and regular. They're delicious. You already know it's only 100 calories. Guacamole and avocado are packed full of monounsaturated fats. It's an excellent way to help you lower your cholesterol without having to take a bunch of pills, without having to do a whole bunch of crazy mess. Monounsaturated fat is the key to lowering cholesterol. Like, that really is good for you. You add some whole grains into that. Like, there are other things, but that really helps. You really got to add that piece to the puzzle. Okay, so we got that all covered on that side. We have diced prosciutto, which I added just for some flavor. It also gives you a lot of protein. The scallops and the shrimp, I slice the scallops, and the scallops and the shrimp need to thaw ahead of time. I buy them frozen. I've got 1 head of romaine lettuce. It's actually an organic romaine heart. You do the whole thing and you just we'll break it up together. Don't worry about it. And then I've got garlic and herb flavored cream cheese. I buy a specific one that comes in a little cube, so it's already measured out. It's only 35 calories for the cube. Once we simmer everything down, we'll be adding that to make a glaze to kind of go over everything to help with salad, kind of like make a dressing. So it'll be really awesome. Okay, so that's the explanation of everything we're going to be using to cook. Now, good with that? I'm trying to make sure we hit all the points. I know I talk a lot. Okay, so let's get started. I have already sprayed the pan a little bit, but I wanted you to know what I was doing. I sprayed it with the Mediterranean blend oil. Can't talk. Blend oil. I have a pressurized aerosol thing where you just pump it up again. Generally, I would say you want about a quarter to a half teaspoon oil. You don't really need a lot. We're cooking on a low temperature. You don't really want to cook on a high temperature because the scallops and the shrimp can't tolerate a lot of temperature, and if you cook them too fast they get very rubbery very quickly. So I also wanted to show you all this because this is a really great thing. I bought an egg slicer at the store. They're really dinky little things. They just open and shut and they've got little wires, but I use them to slice my mushrooms and my black olives too. And they work really great, and then I don't have to slice them by hand. I can buy them whole, and they're fresh, and they're already sliced. So that's great. Anyway, so we're going to start with, this is all the olive oil, garlic, cumin, pepper, etc. That goes in here. We want to start this at a medium-low, which is about 175. And I think I've got about 3 ounces of water in here, maybe a little more. So we'll put that couple ounces of water in there.
Hey, look at the front. Look at the front bumper.
My son's making a bunch of noise again, but I'm going to try not to yell at him because that's rude to yell. And we'll start on that. And what we want to go ahead and do is we want to add all this other stuff to kind of simmer it all together.
I don't know.
So we'll add, oh, I also have sage in here. I forgot to mention the sage. I put about a third as much sage as cilantro. I think sage is a little bit more pungent. So I would say I had maybe an eighth a cup of sage. It wasn't very much. So we want that all in there too because we want those flavors to kind of cook out into the base. The scallops and the shrimp are going to go in late because they cook really quickly and they'll dry out.
What do you mean?
They'll get kind of rubbery if you cook them too long, so we don't want to put those in early. The diced prosciutto we're going to put in early because it's got kind of a sausagey ham kind of thing going on. We want to kind of bleed that out into the quinoa. So we're going to put the quinoa in there too. The quinoa will cook out and turn into almost like a ricey kind of texture. So it's really nice to put over the salad because it kind of gives the salad more texture and more flavor to it. Plus it gives the salad like a sticky thing going on where it's like there's dressing on it when it's not. So it's a good way to cheat, if you will. Now,
this comes all stock.
As you cook, I've noticed, to make your life simpler, if you don't want to babysit it all the time and have to stare at it, what you want to do is you want to start at a lower temperature.
Yeah, you can still do it.
And go from that lower temperature up. Now, I started at 175, and I'm going to bump it up to 200, which is actually between medium-low and medium. Now, if you're using a conventional stove, which I'm not, obviously, sorry. If you're going to use a conventional stove, medium would obviously be 5. So if I'm doing medium-low, I'm probably on like a 4. Okay? Because I'm doing between the two. Medium being 5, low being 1, whatever. So I'll try to correlate for you the numbers, but everything is not being cooked on 7 to 10 on your dial. Like everything is probably being cooked under 5. And I'll try to remember to tell you what I think it is, so that you'll have an idea at least. I might cook it a little higher than I normally do, just so y'all don't have to wait quite so long, because I know this is quite a long video already.
Go with your shot, I just told you that. I
got the complete edition. I used to have
Okay, so what we're gonna do,
I used to have the platinum edition.
I gotta cook that down.
Other stuff.
You gotta put the apples in.
That's why I had all that other stuff before.
Trust me. The black olives and the mushrooms go in as well. And you might want to give them an extra shot of olive oil directly on the mushrooms just to help them cook particularly.
Platinum, you get everything for free.
Well, mushrooms tend to be kind of persnickety from what I can tell. So,
you had them download stuff. The platinum edition.
And now, I do want to mention that this little sprayer thing is giving me minute sprays of oil as opposed to like, when I say a quarter teaspoon of oil, it's because I sprayed this thing for like 30 seconds. So if I'm spraying a little bit of it on the mushrooms, don't think that I'm saturating them. So if you do want to put a little extra oil in mushrooms, try to keep that in mind. Maybe put a little bit of oil in a bowl and toss them in it, and then go from there. Because you don't want far too much oil, or you'll you'll ruin the flavor, number one.
Hey, look at my fucking Challenger, my old school Challenger. That was great. Alright, let me show you my Grand National. That's like the last thing I got to find.
I want to simmer that for just a second before I put the vegetables in.
This one. Look at my
I'll do that stuff out of the way too. So, what we're going to do real quick is, I forgot to wash this. Wash this.
It's going to take a minute.
And what you want to try to do is just wash down the center so you get all the leaves clean. Instead of trying to peel it and do all this crazy mess.
Huh? Yeah, what the heck's my head? You see the design on the roof and shit?
Okay.
I see the design on the roof and shit. Oh, good. Huh?
Okay. So with romaine, when you buy hearts like this, it's a little bit easier because you can just go ahead. I just rip them. And you can kind of sprinkle them into the bowl, and then you get a nice fluffy salad.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
Apples are starting to simmer, so that's good. And at 200, you don't have to rush over there right that second, because just because they're simmering, they're not burning yet. You know what I mean? Like, 200 is where they simmer, not where they burn. So you don't have to be right on top of it. Man, it smells good. I tell you what, guys, when this is done, I'm smoking a bowl and celebrating my wonderful salad to me. So I hope y'all enjoy it too.
You constantly fall off of it if you don't know how to drive it.
And what I'm doing here is these bottom pieces of romaine are kind of bitter, and so I tend to pull them off, but I do like the heart in the center. So.
There was one of my homeboys' cars he wanted me to buy.
So I'm going to try to get there if I can.
He had modded it. He had modded the back wheel to where it's like fucking unicycle looking shit.
If you hear my son swearing, I apologize.
That's right.
Ask him not to.
It's crazy.
Alright.
No, what's weird is how to fucking drive it. It's hard as hell.
Okay. So now we got the romaine ready.
Yeah, let me pull out my collars and my outfit.
It's a shame.
It's sexy. I don't even have to put anything on it. It's just sexy as everything. But once I put the design on it, ooh, it's gonna be out. It's gonna be over.
Now what we want to do is we want to add these veggies.
Everything is bad.
And these are frozen Normandy blend vegetables. I did a cup. And what you have in here is you have baby carrots, cauliflower, and broccoli, as well as squash. I also like using stir-fry vegetables, which has like snow peas and mushrooms and water chestnuts and that kind of stuff. So, what I encourage you to do, of course, is go to your grocery store, go in the frozen food section where the vegetables are, and look at the bagged vegetables and see which kind appeals to you. You know, if you like stir-fry, get the stir-fry blend. I'm sure it's the same kind of stuff. That's why they call it that, right? So, I actually do prefer the stir-fry blend, but there are several different kinds that have California blend, Normandy blend, etc. So you'll find something you like. Don't be intimidated by a grocery store, man. They're there to serve you. You're the customer. So what I want to do, I just put those frozen veggies in there, so I'm going to cover it, and I bumped it up a little bit higher. It's 220. It's still medium low, so we're still on like a 4 to a 5. 5 is 275. So 220 is like a 4. I'm going to see if I can pause this video because this is going to have to simmer for probably about 10 or 15 minutes. So let me see if I can pause it.
Hey, you little bitch. Asshole. Yeah. Well, I'm alright.
Okay, so it's been 9 minutes. In another minute, we're going to go ahead and add the cream cheese that I mentioned. This cream cheese is queso fresco and chipotle. And these cream cheeses are like awesome. Every flavored one I've had has really impressed me. So I just wanted to add a little chipotle kick to the sauce and give it a little thickness to kind of give it a glazed feel to really lend itself to the dressing when we put it over the romaine, because we're going to kind of toss it together. I want it to stick to the lettuce so that all the stuff we put together doesn't just flop to the bottom. You see what I mean? Because how bad does it suck to make a salad, and then when you make your salad, it's lettuce and then everything that you put all that effort into putting on it. Like, yeah, so. Alright, let me go ahead and get this in here. This is also in that list on the app, so you're welcome to message me for that.
Oh, it would do some shit like that. You got me stuck up on the side of the fucking freeway.
Or actually, you won't have to message me for that. I'll have my email address and the information for that app in the comment section as soon as I figure out how to upload this bad boy.
That was some bullshit.
So, this is simmering really nicely, but I'm about to have to turn it down because I just added that cream cheese and I don't want it to get messed up.
I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. Oh, really now? You see that dot coming up?
There are the 3 dogs that I love.
Behind that? That's me.
Go outside, Nancy. Go outside. Go outside. Good girl.
See that dot that's
Go outside.
behind them? That's me.
Okay, so back to the cooking. What you'll need to do is you'll need to kind of get that cream cheese down to the bottom of the pan, obviously, to get the heat to it. And let it melt in there a little bit. And as it melts, you can spread it around through and give it that thickness that you want. Same kind of principle as making macaroni and cheese, you know what I mean? Like, just melt the cheese a little bit and kind of spread it through.
Yeah, you should know that wasn't me, that was behind you. Or in front of you, or whatever.
And then, got another couple minutes where I'm ready to add the mushrooms, excuse me, not mushrooms. The shrimp and scallops, but we can go ahead and add them a little bit early. It won't hurt anything. Everything else is ready to go. So what you want to do is push everything to one side of the pan if you can. And I don't know if you noticed the size of the pan that I'm using. It's a large depth pan, and it's about, I'd say, 10 inches across. So it's a lot of cooking space for this much food. Even though you are only cooking for one person, and you could probably split this too, I'm sure. But I eat it for just me, because, you know, when you smoke a little and you cheep a little, sometimes you get a little hungry. So. And I'd like to reiterate that disclaimer earlier, you know, the entertainment purposes. Yeah. So, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and put everything else that you just finished cooking, shove that to one side of the skillet, so that the base of the skillet's exposed, and you can get the scallops and the shrimp right there to the base, to get them hot as quickly as possible.
Because it does, there are a lot to do.
Horror story after horror story about slowly, funky, not properly cooked seafood. It always makes me paranoid. So, I try to cook my seafood not quickly, because if you cook it too fast, it does come out nasty, but at least evenly and in a reasonably quick time.
Dude, it's mod.
I also sliced my scallops so that they're, I guess, about a 1/4 inch thin, and that'll allow the scallops to cook very quickly as opposed to leaving them whole. In which case they have to cook all the way through, and that does take a little bit more time. When you leave them whole, if you cook them at the same time as the shrimp tend to get rubbery before the scallops cook through. So if you want to leave your scallops whole, you need to start the scallops, I'd say, 2 to 4 minutes before you put the shrimp in, because shrimp only need like 2 to 4 minutes, and scallops need like 6. So, yeah. But anyway.
Barely moved it.
And then once the scallops and the shrimp start to get like a little bit of boiling action around them, you know, there'll be a little bit of juice around them. Go ahead and start putting the other stuff on top of them to help season them, because all the seasonings are in the stuff you put, you know, cooked first. So you want that to simmer down on top of those things.
Where do you think you're going? This bitch might be stopped.
Let it all sit like a layer for about another minute. And then we'll start folding it over so that everything gets cooked through and turned and hot on every side. I really talked about everything that I wanted to talk about. I made a little list so we didn't get bored. The only thing I would want to mention was that when I've talked to a lot of people about eating healthy, a lot of people mention that eating healthy seems to be out of their price range. I feel like you can't buy enough food to eat if you buy healthy food. But what a lot of people are neglecting to take into consideration is that a lot of times when you buy poor food, you eat more of it because it's not satisfying your needs dietarily. And when you don't satisfy the needs that your body has for vitamins and protein and all that kind of stuff, it continues to crave those things, so you continue to want to eat. You know, if you take the time to cook healthy food for yourself, you won't be hungry like you are now if you're eating junk food. And if you feel like you don't have time and you're driving through the drive-thru, it means it's almost time for everything to be ready. It's time to turn it over. And if you feel like you don't have time to cook your food, but you're driving through a drive-thru to pick up your food, it takes just as much time for you to get in your car, drive to the store, drive through the drive-thru, wait for them to cook it, drive home and then eat it as it would have to cook it yourself, know exactly what went in it, and enjoy something that tastes fresh and is hot right off your stove. So, you know, I really hope that watching a show like this, or mine, anybody's watching a show that helps you step into a healthier way of cooking, really. I hope you find a way that makes you enjoy your food in a healthy way and really boosts you into doing that, because eating healthy unlocks a lot of doors for you that you never thought you'd have back. I weigh what I did in high school, and my son is fixing to graduate high school. So I have 4 children.
Look, slow it down like all the way.
And when you can have 4 kids and weigh what you did in high school, maybe good nutrition, something you should enjoy. So I'm hoping that everybody can enjoy this. Alright, so it looks like this is all ready.
I swear, if I let it go on your account,
so I'm going to cover it for just a second. Wipe off the counter because apparently it's wet.
Because it takes money to make what I make.
And bring the lettuce over here. Now as you see, the lettuce only filled up about half the bowl, so it's about right here. Let me get everything out of the way. But once we get everything else in there and we fluff it up and get everything mixed, it'll be completely awesome. Now, if you like a wet salad, which some people do, you also have the option, before you put anything else on there, to toss a little lemon or lime juice on there. Since you already have lime in there, you might want to do lime. Some people like the tang of lemon. And then, if you do that, sometimes I crack a little extra fresh cracked pepper, but I really like pepper, so that's on you, you know what I mean? Like, that's a good pointer. Things like these spice racks you can get at Walmart. They have all different brands, all different kinds. You can get them as cheap as like $10. Even the $10 ones have 10 to 20 different types of spices you can try. I recommend you open those and smell them. Usually if they appeal to your smell, you're probably going to like how they taste. And flavoring your food like that is so much healthier than trying salt. And if you flavor your food on your own, you'll find that it tastes so much better than something that somebody else flavored for you the way they thought you might like it. You know what I mean? Like, flavor it the way you like it instead of the way somebody else thought that, you know what I mean? Like, they propositioned you'd like it. Anyway. Okay, so this is ready to go. Normally you would just pour this over. I like to toss it in, but since we're doing this for the video, I'm just going to pour it over. I like my lettuce a little soft, and if you do like your lettuce a little soft, you can pour it in there because it is deep. Pour it in there, fold it over, put the lid back on, and leave it at 200 for about another 90 seconds. It doesn't take long to steam that.
You just sitting there or what?
Jeez, it's heavy. And then you can just kind of shake it over.
I'm about to go watch some TV. I'm about to be playing this for how much longer. I'll do it tomorrow.
It kind of looks like slop, but
tomorrow you'll be able to see my new ride. Go buy another one for $0.
Leave that one started with the rent.
When I bought all the fucking Lamborghinis and shit, all those free, $0.
And then what you want to do, just fluff it a little bit so it doesn't quite look so whatever. And then what you're finished with is a nice, beautiful salad. It comes up to here, which is a pretty good sized bowl. So there's your salad, that's your dinner, and it's 525 calories. And if you're not full and you're done with this, you have more stomach than is legally possible, or I shouldn't say legally, humanly possible. You should consult a physician. So, I hope you enjoyed the cooking show. I hope you enjoyed my commentary. And some of that, of course, is introductory, so we hope to dispense with a lot of that in the future. I will be going to smoke a bowl and enjoying my new salad now. And please look out for any future videos from me coming up. I am planning on doing some desserts, some breakfasts for people who are in a rush. I try to hit the gym in the morning, so I try to eat quick. Once again, it's 2 Hungry Hippies, the number 2 Hungry Hippies, spelled just like it is, no spaces. And we really look forward to seeing you back. Subscribe to the channel if you're interested, and we hope to be putting out videos as quickly as we can think of recipes. Have a good one.
Joker looking ass nigga.